From 1974 to 1986, the Golden State Killer was a serial killer and rapist who terrorized residents across California, and he almost got away with it. The notorious Golden State Killer eluded authorities for more than 4 decades, but police have finally caught their man. While some would expect a monster in handcuffs, Joseph James DeAngelo was a seemingly ordinary former police officer living near Sacramento until April 2018. His co-workers described him as an ordinary man who they never thought could have committed these brutal crimes. The Golden State Killer committed more than 50 rapes and 12 murders across California throughout the 1970s and 1980s. In over 40 years, nobody had been convicted of these crimes. DeAngelo served in the Navy during the Vietnam War for about 22 months. He came back home a decorated vet, earning a National Defense Service Medal, a Vietnam Service Medal, and a Vietnam Campaign Medal. He attended Sierra College from 1968 to 1970, before starting at California State University, Sacramento in 1971. Joseph DeAngelo graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice in 1972. Joseph DeAngelo worked as a police officer in Exeter from 1973 to 1976. And then he worked for the Auburn Police Department from 1976 to 1979. He was let go from the latter job after he was charged with stealing a hammer and dog repellent from a drugstore in Citrus Heights. But before he was caught shoplifting, he seemed to be an upstanding guy. The Visalia ransacker crimes began in 1974, about a year after Joseph James DeAngelo joined the force in nearby Exeter. The unidentified criminal operated until 1975 and is estimated to have burglarized at least 100 homes. While this criminal was mostly known for his burglaries, it's believed the Visalia ransacker may have also been responsible for a murder during the same time period. By 1976, the East Area rapist was terrorizing the Sacramento area. The attacks often occurred in single-story homes inhabited by single women near practical escape routes. The masked man often broke in beforehand, after he stalked his victims to memorize their routines, and left ligatures inside to use as bindings for later. He also unloaded any guns he found and unlocked sliding glass doors or windows. Eventually, he advanced to attacking couples. After waking them with a gun and flashlight pointed in their faces, he tightly bound the hands of his victims. He left the man face down and stacked dishes on his back, threatening to kill everyone in the house if he heard them rattle before repeatedly raping the woman. He was almost caught once, but fled on a bicycle, a preferred escape tactic of his. The attacks in that area appeared to end by 1979. At the time, the Visalia ransacker and East Area rapist, both monikers created by the press, were thought to be different individuals. The police, too, saw no considerable ties. Unfortunately, they would all be similarly confounded by the appearance of the original Night Stalker, the nickname given to a seemingly new killer in Southern California in 1979. These incidents mirrored the East Area rapist attacks in some ways, but ended in the bludgeoning or shooting of the victims. At least 10 people were killed at the hands of the original Night Stalker. 3 years after the last original Night Stalker murder, Joseph DeAngelo started working as a truck mechanic at a Roseville distribution center for Save Mart groceries. He had lived in Citrus Heights as far back as 1983, with neighbor Corey Harvey confirming he was living with a daughter and granddaughter. Harvey was shocked at the arrest, as she simply knew DeAngelo as Joe, the old man who said retirement was a great opportunity to go fishing. Until 2001, when DNA tests confirmed that the East Area rapist and the original Night Stalker were linked. All police had were various sketches of the perpetrator based on survivors' descriptions. In April of 2018, Joseph DeAngelo's name appeared as one of the results. When detectives obtained some of his DNA from the door handle of his car, they found it matched the DNA evidence left behind in the 1970s and 1980s. Although the COVID-19 pandemic delayed the May 12 preliminary hearing, the Golden State Killer trial was finally able to move forward in June. Eventually, Joseph DeAngelo pleaded guilty to 13 counts of murder as well as 13 counts of kidnapping in June. Finally, in August, Joseph James DeAngelo received multiple life sentences.